This is my evaluation for Shrine of the This is my evaluation for Shrine of the King, Cradle of the Law. First time. So yeah, this is my. Sorry, I'll just put this back. So this is my last project of this year. It's been a good year, fun times, many friends, many laughs. You know, it's definitely something new. It's definitely something new that I've done, and you know, it was interesting to do. It's definitely something that I've said, it's something that I've not done before, and it was quite scary, really. So yeah, we did Promenade. We did a Promenade theatre show sort of thing. I don't really need to go tell you what it is because, well, you know, you writ the task sheet thing. What's it? But yeah. So we spent about. So we had 8 weeks for this project. At 8 weeks, you know. I think maybe we had a week less because there was like a half term or something. I don't know. But yeah, you know, it was good. It was like sort of fascinating, just sort of like finding out all the sort of things that I never really thought I knew, like discovering how quite historic Bury St Edmunds is quite weird, because before this project I just thought it was the crappy little town that I've been living in for my entire life. But no, like there were some important things. Sort of like, it's weird, okay? It's like weirdly historical. Yeah. It's so weird without Ryan here. I'm literally talking to myself, look. Oh. So, for those who don't know, I should probably introduce myself, shouldn't I? Did I? If I'll find out in the editing. So, my character was Edward James Miller, who was a character sort of fictional, sort of not fictional. He was inspired by some like real life events, and I took some influences from my own actual family. But I sort of cheated a little bit because none of my family is actually like from Bury. We all sort of come from Scotland and stuff like that, and like the character that I based most of like the name, a vague backstory, I based that on my great-great-granddad, who was actually in London. But you know, I changed it, and that's okay. You gave me this opportunity to be my own. Yeah. So what I think went well throughout the entire sort of project, I thought working together, like I've worked with, I like just working with other people, like people that I wouldn't normally work with. I found that rather like quite interesting, and it's quite refreshing in a way. I don't mean this in like a bad way, but like it's quite interesting and refreshing to work with someone that I've never worked with before. And for the most part, I was working with Jamie, and I think we worked all right. I mean, like most things, we sort of messed around a little bit, but you know, at the end of the day, we sort of got our stuff together, and we managed to work together without killing each other, like most other people were doing during this entire project. So, thanks, Jamie. But yeah, but for the so like the rehearsal period, or like the period leading up to this sort of thing, that went pretty well. I mean, I worked probably not as good as I should have, but you know, that's something I can learn from. That's something I'll work on. But I quite liked working on this completely new character. I like to do things that I've never really done before, and like the entire sort of, you're going into town, you're gonna dress up, you're gonna talk to people. You got to be loud though, because there's a lot of the people, and it's not just the people that you're with that you got to worry about. You got to worry about all the other people in the place. And like at first I was quite nervous like about that sort of thing, because like that's sort of like, that's completely new to me in a way. I mean, I'm not unused to working outside, because I did the Halloween show at the beginning of the year, and that was outside in the Abbey Gardens, but that was quite different, I feel, because yes, I was working outside, but the people that were coming to see were like a minuscule amount of people in comparison to what we had, where like there was not only the people that we were guiding around and showing the level 3's performances, but we were also like trying to compete with the market stalls, trying to compete with all the other people in town. And yeah, you know, that was quite interesting and fun. On the day, what went well? Well, I don't really know what went well. I mean, no one died, so you know, doesn't get much better than that, I suppose. But yeah, like, I feel I could have done a lot better on that day. I wasn't in a great mood that day because I was tired and I had to do work on a weekend. But I feel like that sort of affected my performance, and I mean, I didn't let it affect me to the extent where I was just like, yeah, this is this, yeah, that's that. I still managed to maintain character. I still managed to like do what I was told to do. I wasn't just being, yeah, go, yeah, I don't care. I mean, I got towards the end of the day, but a certain someone, they know what they did. Yeah, okay. You know what you did, person. You pushed it. You pushed it. You made me wait a long time. Okay? You know what you did. Yeah? Don't do it again. You'll regret it. You will regret it. But yeah, other than like, remembered most of that stuff. There was one time where we were going to introduce the theme, but then Jamie completely forgot to introduce us, and then I just got really confused, like, what we're going to do, because we're supposed to talk, and then I didn't want to interrupt Jamie because like she'd forgotten, but I didn't want to go ignore her, listen to me. But yeah, as you pointed out, Erica, when we were walking over to the next thing, it's like, why didn't you introduce yourself? And that was probably, for me, the worst thing that happened for me. But yeah, all in all, it was quite good on that, in that thing. The best bit of the entire day, I think, definitely was seeing like all the performances and all the characters and everyone just sort of all come together, and like all sort of finally, like, we've been working on this for a long time, and there's been ups, there's been downs, there's been people, and you know, there was like points where it was like, oh, is this gonna work? I don't think it is, but you know, we managed to pull through, we managed to make a show. Yeah, we made a show which worked. It worked, and I've heard positive things about the entire show. I've heard positive things about all the performances. I've heard positive things about about like all the other people that were involved, and like all the tour guides, like how some of us were like really good at and really understood our characters and really played them well. And yeah, so I think seeing the show finally come together and finally be what we've been working hard on, like I feel like that was the best bit, and also getting to interact with people in a sense, like getting to do that, because that's sometimes as an actor it's quite hard, I think, to interact with some people, because when you approach someone like in the middle of the street and you go like, and you're an actor and you address them and they're like, ah, hello, I'm an actor, blah blah blah, and they just sort of, because they're scared. And like some people that I tried engaging with, I was like, yes, I'm this person, and they're just like, okay. Which then leads into my next bit, the hardest part. I think the hardest part of it all really was keeping everyone together, making sure everyone could see, everyone could hear the performances, and making sure that I was loud enough so when I did introduce pieces and things like that, so that everyone could hear, and I like just making sure that I could project properly, and yeah, maintaining character. And again, it was hard because we were like I've said probably a million times now, but like competing with the rest of town, because there's a lot of people in town that day, because it was a lovely day. It was a really hot day, and my costume was really thick. I digress. And I think competing against that loud Saturday afternoon town feel, and doing it for as long as what we did it for a fair few hours, and you know that was quite hard. Just like for some people, kind of me included, like the hardest bit was just surviving the rest of the day, because you reach a certain point where you're just sort of like, oh god, I just want to go home now. But then going from that to then persevering to the end, because although for me it wasn't my favourite thing in the world to do, but you know, as an actor, it's something, I've got that on my resume now, and I've done it, I've seen it, I've lived it, and like I've done all that good stuff. Yeah, so yeah, I think that was the hardest part, and sometimes trying to maintain character, sometimes that was quite hard, because like, especially say if something went wrong, or like there's other people or something like that, just like that I found that quite hard. What us level 2s had was like actually a lot harder than what the level 3s was doing it. And like I understand, but I don't understand, because like the level 3s, they had to, some made up songs, they made dances, they writ completely original scripts, but you know, I think that was just like the grand scheme of things that made that look harder. But for the way that, from what I've been told, like us trying to maintain a large group of people, making sure that they can see these performances that the level 3s have worked hard on, making sure that everyone can hear them, making sure everyone understands it, making sure that people don't get lost if they ask questions, how I can do it in my character, and like stuff like that. Just sort of trying not to break the illusion, and like showing, like just walking around town. I didn't do this myself, but I know some people would like talk about, like they would look at Barry like through their own character's eyes, so they wouldn't see the Barry that is actually there. They would see the Barry what their character saw, and they'd point out something like, oh yes, over there's where I blah blah blah, etc etc, and things like that. So yeah. Oh, and then last sort of tidbit, what could we improve on? I don't know, I personally feel I could have like done more for my character. I could have, because it's not my greatest, it's not the best thing that I've ever done. But because I sort of felt like just feeling a bit moany and groany sort of affected me in a way, so I didn't really get to grips on the character, and sort of leaving a lot of the character work till the very end, like not really exploring as much as I could have. I mean, the research that the research that I've done for my character, which I should probably actually put on my WordPress. I don't think I've actually put that on there. Might be, I don't know. So yeah, I feel like I could have improved on my character work. Maybe some line learning and script writing, because in comparison to some people, me and Jamie kept the talking right to the point, which I know is what you wanted, because of course we're sort of on a timetable and we can't have like a massive monologue to introduce a piece of writing, to introduce like a show and things like that. But like literally it was just like, hi, I'm blank. Hi, I'm blank. This thing's about this. It sure is about this. Let's watch this. That's basically what it was, but a bit shorter. So yeah, I think I could have improved in that. And to be honest, I don't think there was much else we could improve on. I think all in all, the show itself, it went rather smooth, despite some things happening. You know what. But other than that, it went rather well. I feel, you know, there's always room for improvement. I think most of the not most. I think all of the shows were like very well thought out, and I know some people had issues with people like being ill or whatever, like sort of missing the rehearsal period and then getting there on the day just like, what am I doing? I don't know. So then they were relegated to the sideline and things like that. You know, but like everyone else has worked really hard. I've been in like, it's been like incredible sort of working this entire year with all these people, and yeah. So I'm looking forward to next year. I'm looking forward to next year to see what that has to offer to me. It's been a lot of fun doing like the Halloween project. It's been a lot of fun doing the creation, Midsummers, and now this as my sort of like projects. You know, this is definitely something that maybe I'll build upon in the future. Maybe because it's now something that I've done and I can say that I've done, and if I do it in the future, then I have a gist of what I'm doing. I can look back at this and see, what did I do there? Yeah, I did that, so let's not do that, but do this instead, if you get what I mean. I don't know how in depth this is all going to be in the end, but you know. So yeah, thank you for watching. I bet you're watching this reluctantly, wishing, oh God. Yeah, I understand, but you know, I don't like to write. Bye! I don't think I'm gonna put that as the ending. I've ever done.